Okay, and we'll go outside. The restrooms, I'm sure you've all found them, but just in case, they're on the way in, just by the entrance there. I'm assured there will be some refreshments later. Herbert's Pain, okay? So we're outside, I'll let her. So we're going to run through a few slides. If we could click to the first one. I now feel like the COVID briefs. Next slide, please. Another one. This is one of our favourite events of the year, really, where we celebrate our students' successes. Yeah, they're the stars of the show. They're all hiding at the back, looking very nervous. Please don't. There's only 1 million people out there watching. So this is what we call the Experiential Learning Lab Awards ceremony. There'll be more about what that means in a moment. Okay, we've got a nice quote here from Angela Merkel, because it wouldn't be an academic presentation otherwise, would it? So I'm not going to read that and insult you, but basically that's what we're about. And they didn't just call it Industry 4.0 in Germany, we called it that too, didn't we? Okay, next slide, please. This is the team. Again, I'm not going to bore you by asking them all to stand up and wave and everything, but I think looking around, most of them are in the room. So those of you who are here, please feel free to have a chat with them all later. They do a great job. You'll see that by the standard of our student presentations later. They look even more worried now at the back. Next slide, please. So what are we going to do? I'm doing the intros. That's me, Gary Ramsden. We've then got a bit of a video to explain what the challenge is all about. We'll then get my boss, Dr. Joanna, to say a few words of introduction. And then Herbert will explain a little bit more about what we actually do with regards to the challenge. Then we'll have the stars of the show. Strangely, we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's just a system we devised ourselves with the help of the Romans. Okay, and then we've got alumnus coming. We've got Ingrida, who I won't spoil the surprise, but she was where these students are a couple of years ago, and now she's doing great work for the Environmental Agency. I mean, yes, okay, good. It'll then be time to vote, and Chang will explain more of that as we go through. Voting will not be open until all the presenters have presented. We'll have things to wave and that, just like on Strictly, to make sure you know when it's open. All right? And while you're all busily voting and deliberating about your favourites, we'll invite our colleague, Professor Giles, to talk about how this fits in to our strategic direction within the university. Then we'll do some counting. Chang's got an abacus there, haven't you, Chang, to do the counting with?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah. And then we'll have some awards. And again, Professor Giles will be doing the glad handing and the holding of hands, etc., and presentations. And then we'll have some closing remarks by Dr. Natalie, the head of the International Business School. So that, in a nutshell, is what we're going to do over the next hour and a half to 2 hours. I would normally now be the lecturer say any questions, but I won't go there. So let's move on to the next slide. This is where we run a video. So Chang, run VT. I've always wanted to. Thank you.
I had this in a lecture last week, and one of the students came and pressed the button and fixed it for me, and I can't remember what it was you need to do. It might be on the monitor itself. Does it show audio?
It's on.
I'm being usurped by YouTube. Welcome everyone, I'm Joanna, Head of Department of Management, and I'm really proud that the module that our second year undergraduate degree students study, Operations Management, is directly linked to this 4.0 challenge. No idea what's happening on in the background, but that's good, I like the Experiential Learning Lab. The video you saw was went back from when we received European funding to initially run this project. Now that funding actually finished in the summer of last year, and Herbert was very entrepreneurial and instrumental in ensuring that we carried the really positive legacy of a number of years of work in this area through, and we have some now internal funding to ensure that we can continue this project. So we're very grateful to that, indeed Natalie, Giles and the wider team for supporting that. We think for another 5 years, hopefully. I've always been jealous in a business school of our arts departments and our science departments, because they have studios and labs and do physical creative things, and in business we have desks and PowerPoint and you know, if we're not careful we can do it. So now we have reimagined our 4.0 challenge, and we've upped it a gear, and we now have an experiential learning lab. Now this isn't a physical space yet, that's later on my wish list, but I'm working on that one. But what we do have is a virtual concept of different ways in which we can bring the learning alive for our students in a real interface with real business and work problems. And this is only one, I know Herbert, I don't want to steal your thunder either, this is only one example of other things we can bring into this lab space. So we're really excited to share our journey and our student success. These are the winners of many, many students' success. Again, Herbert might tell you more of the hundreds of students we put through. So we can do this at scale. This isn't just for a few select, but these are our winners. So you're all winners, irrespective of the poll later. So I will stop there and hand over to Herbert and thank him for a lot of the huge hard work in coordinating this on the ground and running the module as the module leader. And of course, the wider team, you know, much supported. It's great to see so many colleagues, but mostly important, it's great to see our students here, our sponsors, etc. So thank you very much. Herbert.
Thank you, Joanna. To start off, also want to welcome you here and also to acknowledge the work that has been done behind the scenes by my immediate team, Liz, Gita, and Chang. I know Chang probably woke up at 5 today to work on the digital side of the ceremony. So thank you, team. Now, John has talked about the Experiential Learning Lab, but the idea was to have something that is interdisciplinary, that can bring colleagues together from different areas to work on challenges, problems that involves the community and industry. So it is experiential learning because it allows students to work through, to learn through doing, by doing things rather than by reading. Because research shows that we learn better when we do things. Hence, when Joanna was talking about the creative side with their labs. So that's what we're trying to emulate in the business school. But the platform would want it to extend beyond the business school. That's the vision. There's so much that is happening within the business school that involves doing stuff that we want to bring within the platform and begin to promote it, expand it, develop it. So that's the concept. Now, we've heard that the history comes from the University of Lincoln 4.0 challenge. So that is a work stream within the experiential learning platform. We want more to be added to the platform. And then this offers us a way of promoting what we're doing, enabling this to reach more students. That's the vision. So bring academics together, working with the industry, working with the community. Next slide, please. Focusing on the 4.0 challenge, it is a challenge-based learning approach, and we bring students and business together to work on business challenges. And those challenges, there will be some elements of digitalization. It could be in terms of the actual solution or the enabling of the solution. So in terms of the goal for our students is to develop entrepreneurial skills, problem-solving skills, is to develop professional skills while they are learning. So what we're doing, we're putting the developing professional skills into the curriculum, so that we guarantee that every student who goes through a program like this, they've got a chance to work on the real life problems. For business, previous slide, please. So for business, we know that sometimes you have problems, challenges, and yet you don't have time to focus on them or even the resources. So this allows us then to bring students to look at those things that are perhaps parked somewhere. And then that provides a fresh pair of eyes to look at what's happening and then recommend some solutions. Some you'll be able to implement right away. I was talking to Carol. She was saying she has been busy implementing solutions prior to this event. Some may require further development. So in terms of, I think we have seen some slides that have been skipped. I don't think I need to go back to them. So basically what we have in terms of our idea is to help the local community to explore how they can utilize digital technologies or use them to enable their solutions, their processes. That's what we're trying to do. So we talk to the businesses and then we formulate challenges that we give to students, and they spend the semester working on those challenges to come up with the solution. Then they present in poster exhibition, and then shortlist the students, they come to the awards ceremony. So for this term, these are the companies that we worked with: Race Bridge, Friends of Lincolnshire School Orchestras, and the University of Lincoln Estates Department. I won't go through the challenges because the students will do that when they make their presentations. Okay, next slide, please. So in terms of the structure, for challenge-based learning, we provide guidance to students. So we introduce them to the problem-solving process, which they follow during the term to come up with the solution. So that's the problem-solving process. At the end, the challenge reflection. Again, we learn by looking back at what we've done. Because if we don't review what we've done, then we don't learn from what's good and what's bad. And then the output is a poster, which then goes to the poster exhibition. Next slide, please. So the time that we've been waiting for is now. So our 3 companies, and then we are going to get students from each of these companies. I mean, these companies are presenting their solutions. Next slide, please. So the first presentation is by Team B, led by Carolina. Please, can you come and tell us about your solutions?
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Carolina Maximova. I'm the team leader of our team B3.
Hi, my name's Liv, and I was the one on Carolina.
We are really happy today to be here, and generally, we were really happy to be a part of that excellent module generally, and we are so proud of us that today we're able to stand here in front of you and to tell you our ideas. Next slide, please. So we were going and we were working with the University of Lincoln Estates, and our main goal was to understand how e-bikes could achieve that net zero target. Next slide, please.
So University of Lincoln Estates is the physical campus of the university. So we were looking at ways in which we could improve it to reach net zero target, making it a more environmentally friendly university.
Next slide, please. So our challenge was to deliver the university's net zero target. And also, our target was to understand how could the university reduce the carbon emissions and how could the digital technologies contribute over the solution. Next slide, please. Over our analysis, we've been using over the challenge structuring. We've been using 2 types of the analysis. The first one is the PASTEL. The second one is Toast matrix analysis. On the slide, you would be able to see our PASTEL analysis, and the next slide is going to be our Toast matrix analysis. And as far as we are running out of time, we will not be able to tell you all about our PASTEL and Toast matrix analysis. However, you would understand it through our presentation later. It would help us to cover the internal and external factors to generally understand the problems of the target we need to achieve, and to generally better understand the University of Lincoln Estates. Next slide, please.
So by looking at the internal and external analysis, we conducted a classical brainstorming. So it was like a general brainstorm, which we did as a team. And the main point was to make sure that we were involving students and involving people outside the university So the best ideas that we came out of our brainstorm was to encourage students to engage in our idea. So we would offer a student scheme where students are able to access student discount. We know that times at the minute it's hard and it's not always a priority to be spending money on things like this. But by offering a discounted price, it would enable them to use it, as well as creating a loyalty scheme to keep customers, such as just members of the public, coming in and getting all the community to use it.
Next slide, please. Also, we've been using the Lotus Model model to help us to understand as much different solutions as we could. So now you can see a few different solutions, but we've been focused only on the three main ones, which are the cafes to get to go. Could you please do the next slide? Also the e-bike rental and the electric system controlled automatically. So here you can see the advantage and disadvantage table, which we completed through the proctor. And also you will be able to see the different advantages and disadvantages of our solutions.
This, which one is it? Project.
These one, so we completed also the analysis, which are showing. So this side, the first one is the e-bike rental, and the second one is the cafes to get to go.
So it just compared the validity of both of our decisions, and it ended up coming to the decision to go with the e-bike.
So now we will be able to tell you more about our idea and decision. How could the University of Lincoln implement the e-bike rental? Firstly, we are thinking that how could the University of Lincoln do it? Firstly, we're thinking that the universities could be a monopoly in Lincoln as far as nobody is doing the e-bike rental. So also it helps environmentally to the university and achieving the net zero target. The previous slide, please. Thank you. So we've been going through different factors. We've been thinking and going through factors such as legal, environmental, ethnical, and organizational. So through all these analyses, we're able to understand that for the university to implement the e-bike rental, for example, as the legal aspect, they should think about the land regulations. So the university should think about how could they correctly install the charging systems for the e-bikes. About the implementing as well, we've been thinking that it's going to be a really good solution if the university could create the app for the people who will be able to rent the e-bikes through it. So for students and staff, we are proposing to put the link to this app to the blackboards and one uni as well, and they would be able to have a discount, which is encourage the students to use the electric bikes and achieve at the university get their goal to achieve the net zero target. And different foreigners, so the people who are living in Lincoln, they would be able to use the app by the usual price and run the e-bikes. So we are achieving that, we're reducing the noise around the Lincoln, we're getting a better environment, and as well we're proposing to university to earn more from this project. Also we've been thinking that to establish the electric bike rental, so the university could ask the government for the local governments for the financial support, which is going to be beneficial for both of them. So because as a government also interested in environmental friendly in a friendly environment. So also we've been thinking that it would also help the students to find their jobs, and it would also reduce the percent of the mental health problems over the staff and students, which we think is quite important, because over the studying protests in Lincoln. Sometimes it's getting too hard for you to stay away of the family, to stay away of your friends, to move into a new place, to encourage to spend all your energy to the study, and to spend more time in fresh air, to spend more time with friends, and also it's going to be cheaper than use the buses, and it was reduce that it would reduce the traffic as well. Next slide, please. So over this slide, you would be able to see the Gibbs reflective cycle. We used it to explain our emotions. It's like our reflection of participating in this module. So this cycle consists from 6 different points, which you can see: description, feelings, evaluation, analysis, conclusion, and action plan.
Yeah, so we just conducted our work as a team and put it all together, focused on the points that we improved on, what we did well, and just the general outcome of the project.
Do you have any questions?
Carolina, Liv, thank you very much. Never easy going first, is it? So well done. Thank you. We now have, hopefully, a slide with the next demo. Is that right? Next demo. Yes. So, we have Isabel and Kylie. Here they come. Kyle, sorry. Sorry.
It's all right.
You're very different to the Kyle I was. Right, over to you guys. Let's hear about Great Spruce Heath.
Good evening, I'm Kyle. We are Team E2 and the challenge company we are towards is Great Spruce Heath Preschool and Nursery. Next one.
The challenge company that we work with is Bracebridge Youth Preschool and Nursery. Bracebridge Preschool with a mission to supply a secure and nurturing environment to all children that go to their preschool. When considering solutions for Bracebridge, we make sure to keep their aims and their mission in mind. Next slide. Our tasks as part of the University of Lincoln 4.0 challenge was to work with Bracebridge Youth Preschool and Nursery to overcome an issue. Bracebridge was struggling to raise funds, so we analysed their real-world operational challenges and issues. We came up with a digital solution.
To understand what kind of solution was needed, we used a closed matrix to analyse the implementation of a digital solution. In the analysis, we used information gathered from our interview with Bracebridge to identify strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats. Then using this, we were able to recognise how they could be used to maximise opportunities as well as minimise threats and weaknesses, such as the solution, allowing Bracebridge to reach people outside of the business. During the brainstorming section, we used 2 different concepts. Firstly, we used the lowest Boston technique. This placed the issue in a 3x3 grid, requiring us to fill in the rest of the grid with possible solutions. Using the lowest Boston technique helped us generate a large number of solutions that we then condensed down to 8 we felt were the most effective.
Second brainstorming technique that we used was the traditional checklist model. In the model, we answered 6 questions: who, what, when, where, why, and how. We took information from our initial Q&A with Bracebridge to come up with ideas for our solutions. In why, we recognised the challenges that Bracebridge were facing that was coming from only accepting donations via face-to-face donations. We made sure to address this challenge in our solution. We recognised that social media was a great advertising tool that Bracebridge could use alongside something like a GoFundMe page. Next slide, please. To fully analyse our solutions, we use tools such as performance objective maps and advantage-disadvantage table. Here is the example of our advantage-disadvantage table. This enabled us to assess the strengths and weaknesses of each solution. The scores below indicate which solutions were the strongest, and in this case, it was a GoFundMe and social media for advertising.
To decide on the final solution, we put the remaining solutions in the performance objective maps. These maps show how each solution performed against 5 key objectives that fundamental aspect to consider when implementing a new idea into any business. As shown on the maps, both solutions are low in cost, with the key differences being in quality and dependability. The performance objective maps led us to the final solution of setting up the GoFundMe. Here we set up an example of what the GoFundMe page could look like, although it is not set in stone, as it is fully customizable, meaning pictures and descriptions can be changed to encourage donations. The share button means sharing the fundraiser is easier than ever.
To reflect fully on this experience, we used Gibbs' reflection cycle. Through the use of this cycle, we were able to highlight what we thought went well and what we thought we could have improved. For example, we concluded that to further enhance our situation analysis, we could have completed a pesky analysis to further understand some of the challenges that Bracebridge were facing. However, by the end of the challenge, we were confident with the solution that we came up with, and that was the GoFundMe.
Okay, with the next slide, please. I lost that slide clicker. Okay, team 3, Joey. And James. Excellent. Over to you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you all. I'm James Nelson, and I'm Joey Hall from Sale. Just like to go to the first slide, please. We are Seminar F Team 2, or otherwise known as Sustain You. And the challenge company we got paired with was Lincoln Estates. So for a little bit about them, over to Joey.
So when we first got Lincoln Estates, the first thing we wanted to do was do a SWOT. So we wanted to figure out everything about them. The first thing we realised with the strengths is we're able to utilise many students and staff. Our weakness that we found was there was a lot of waste, and especially with the accommodations, there was over waste happening in Lincoln Estates. Opportunity. So the main thing that we wanted to build on was actually the hedgehog project. So that hedgehog isn't there for no reason. So the hedgehog project was actually a thing that Lincoln Estates did. So they built plenty of shelters for hedgehogs and got students involved. We wanted to build upon this because we thought it was very good with the student engagement. Next one, please. And our big threat is that we believe students will come through, and in 3 years you can teach them as much as you want, but sometimes they don't take away as much as you want them to, and also you then have to reteach a brand new bunch of students on what they need to do for the university.
So with all this background information being said, this is where we move on to the actual challenge that they set us. So it's engaging students in delivering the university's net zero target. So what they have is for 2040, where a lot of other industries 2050, I believe. So if you want to go to the next slide, please. We personally set 4 aims that no matter what we said, it had to link to these 4 things. So the first one was the actual challenge company themselves, Lincoln Estates. It had to be kind of a physical idea that we put on campus for students. And the next one is sustainability. Obviously, we had to reach net zero by 2040.
The next one is student engagement. We wanted to get as many people involved as we could. And then the last, obviously, we had to use industry 4.0. We knew this was great for us as a technology in the future, so we knew this would go on for a long time to find our solution.
So then my favourite part of the whole thing was the whole brainstorming. This is where we came up with just loads of different ideas, some more plausible than others. So one that died kind of early stages was VR and AR technology, because it wasn't that applicable to Lincoln Estates. What other ideas we had was smart buildings, which was one of my personal favourites. The whole idea of kind of you walk in, the lights turn on, you walk out, and I believe they're already in places in the Alfred Tennyson building. And then one idea which I do like, it did come to us when we were sat in Wetherspoons at 10 in the morning. Well, I don't think it's a typical student, but I think it was maybe after the 3rd pint we came up with the idea of using activities. So if you want to go to the next slide, please. Our 2 frontline solutions were smart buildings and student incentives.
Yeah, so me and James were kind of almost arguing over this. I know it seems a bit bizarre,
Because the thing is, I think smart buildings were better.
but I think student incentives is better.
So there's just some of the layout here that I went and thought. I thought smart buildings were very high quality, they were dependable. And then
I thought they were high cost, bad data management. It was hard to deal with it all. Whereas student incentives, we could bring all students together, incentivize them, and ultimately.
the thing is though, we needed students to download the app in the first place, which is going to be difficult to try and get people to adopt our behaviour. However, this is when we did realise, can we go to the next one please? Both of them weren't mutually exclusive, we could bring the two together. So essentially, we'd have smart buildings in place, they'd gather the data and they'd go and display it into an app format. There we go.
So this is actually a visualization of the app that we created. That's the leaderboard system here, and then this is what we named Green School. So we'd have a calculation to figure out who's got the best savings on their power and electricity. We knew that there was plenty of benefits with it, and one thing we also thought about is it also involves staff. So even the school buildings can have their own leaderboard separate to accommodations. So some of the rules we're putting on this, that's not also a rubber duck, that's for quacks. So the SU, gift vouchers, money or tickets to anything, or we can team up with local businesses and almost like scratch each other's backs. So we are driving business to them and they are also helping us out with our sustainability.
So now that our solutions finally come across to you, we did have to go onto this bit unfortunately, which is kind of our reflective learning cycle. This is kind of how well we work as a team and what we do in the future, what we'd adopt to different things. So overall, I think we was really strong in the brainstorming idea. I think sometimes a little bit too good. We was just throwing ideas everywhere, but we wanted to develop them up into a certain point to see how far they'd go. This did actually help us come up with our final solution, the whole idea of smart buildings going so far and an app going so far, and then we realised if we mix the two together, the final solution would come across a lot better. And I believe, just the next one.
Yeah, thank you. That is our Twitter handle, Sustain Until You 2040, if you want to have any look at some of the stuff we tweet or anything. And these are our emails.
So thank you very much, and that's it from us.
I have a good authority that the lads will be in Wetherspoons later if you've got any questions. So, the final team, here they come. Don't be shy. Over to you. Sure about all the services.
So my name is Sophia and my name is we are here presenting Flinzo and the Lincolnshire Schools Orchestra. So we're here also presenting Flinzo and what it really stands for. So we had come up with a challenge first of all. So our main purpose was working with digital challenge of the local business. So with Flinzo, their main problem was the target of raising funds of 15 grand. And also we had guiding questions to help us come up with the solutions, as in fundraising ideas like social media, how to engage with public and other charities, how to engage with parents, and how digital technologies can contribute to the solution as well. So who is Flinzo? Flinzo is a charitable group supporting Lincolnshire music services through collaborations with professionals in the Lincolnshire Youth Orchestra, and also like through fundraising, concerts, and music efforts. They have even provided scholarships, student loans, and enabling students to pursue their musical passions as well. So when learning about Flinzo, we need to understand the charity factor of the outside factor of it all. So through technology, by the changing demographic and inflation, it's quite hard to donate to charities. But however, the political side of it, there has been a Charities Act 2022 that helps them to gain a 25% loan. They can get trustees and government documents for charity more easily, and they can even be able to get advice from professional advisors as well.
So when we talk about that, we look at the challenging structures. We have the SWOT analysis. We have to do studies before we can get information from that. We have the strengths, the weakness, the opportunities, and the threats. And we got to know the strengths of Facebook as they have online, they are present online like Facebook, they have social media, but they are not that active there. They also have a support to local bands and orchestras. Then we look at their weaknesses, lack of funds to run the website and maintain it, which is the major challenge of a Flinzo, fundraising. And proper publicity for concerts is part of their weakness. Then we have the opportunities and the threats. So I'm talking about that. We have a challenge structure. We are using the tool which we hand it over to my partner.
So from learning from SWOT, we did a tools analysis just to bring it all together. So from parents, social media, they can ask more people to donate to this company, and as well to minimize weakness and threats through those parents as well, and collaborations. So just to bring it all together to really see what charity is like and the background of it.
I've been talking about that. We need to come back with brainstorm solutions. And how we done that, we use a little for fundraising. So we look at different solutions we can have. As with parents, having an active social media, set up a GoFundMe branded solution, donation page, generate a fundraising, generate digital light arts that make advertisement, having virtual event there. These are the brainstorm solutions we have for Facebook. So from this, we have to select the best out of the best. All the solutions we have there, we can make use of them, but we need the one that will give us urgent fund. And we look at setting up a GoFundMe and being active on social media. We discuss about this as a group. Then, before we can agree, we have to come up with some other things, consider something before we can come to that. So, having selecting the two solutions, we have the advantage which brings us to the main point where we are going to. Now, we are looking at this. We have the cost, we have the dependability, flexibility, and the quality. Then when we try to bring these two together, we realize that GoFundMe will be better and it will save money. In later time, you can go to being active on social media. When others see them on social media, they can easily use GoFundMe. But GoFundMe, the best tool, because it's less expensive, unlike being active on social media.
So after following the same criteria, we'll also done a performance objective mapping just to see how the two solutions will go together just as a performance. So it's clear to see that setting up a GoFundMe has a much full circle, so it's clear that it's a good choice as well. We added a sustainability part just to see how further it can take the solution for Flinzo. So especially since GoFundMe, even after you have reached your goal of the donation that you needed, you can even further still donate to the charity. We also did it with active social media, however, it's much of a less full circle just because for active social media, you need to make sure you're active, creating content, constantly have to either be viral or it might be just hard to just keep up on the trends as well. So as well for social media, they might need to influence to someone come along to their brand and they might have to pay someone else, which obviously influencers not might be the top priority right now, so that's why we have set up GoFundMe as our top priority. So after having decided between the two solutions, we have originally went with the GoFundMe, just because obviously you can add all the different pictures, videos, just anything that can like really show what Flinzo are, as well you can donate now or share now as well to different people, so parents whose children aren't with Flinzo, they could donate and share to their friends and family. You can even add a reaction to boost up Flinzo GoFundMe page as well. And what I really liked is the fact that they keep constantly updating it, so they say like who's the top donator, whether they're anonymous or not anonymous. So I feel like that's what really like GoFundMe is such a good idea for Flinzo. You can share their story and their success stories of different students all around as well, how they can add like a biography as well for that. So after having done all of this, our whole group went and did a challenge reflection. So just to see how we work as a group. So throughout the group work, obviously the first part was really challenging just to understand what Flinzo really needed. We had so many ideas and decisions to make. So it really brought us together as a group as well. So like how we said the weaknesses and our bad issues and stuff like that. This took quite a lot of time. We needed to figure out what we really wanted from the group and for what Flinzo wanted from us as well. So we also made a conclusion, so like in few tasks, we will be further contributing around the group just to make sure there's like task comprehension and research for everyone. And as well, our action plan is then to have more in-person meetings, since our group meetings were more online meetings. So I feel like through this challenge, we have really learned that in-person meetings is such a valued thing. So you can see the person, you can learn their body language, you can really emphasize your ideas as well. So, and this is all of our references, so I hope you enjoy it.
Four great presentations, I think. Really innovative, really thought-provoking. We've got schools, we've got sustainability issues going on, and we've even got orchestras, which I thought was lovely. Let's give our students a final round of applause. This wouldn't happen without our willing contributors by way of ideas and challenges. So I just want to thank, and I'm not going to embarrass them by asking to stand up and wave or anything. Can I thank David from Flinzo? Can I thank Claire from our estates department? And of course, Carol from Bracebridge Heath. Thank you very much. So thank you. So what does this mean in reality? We've got some great ideas going on. Do the students actually take it out there and use it after they've graduated with us? Well, hopefully to prove that they do. We've invited one of our alumni back, Ingrida, who graduated last year.
That's right.
And she's now saving the world by way of the Environmental Agency in Lincoln. So I'll hand over to Ingrida, who will tell you a little bit about her experiences linked to this and what she's doing now in the real world, dare I call it that. Over to you, and thank you for coming in.
Hello everyone, thank you for having me. Such a great presentations. Well done, guys. Wow, that looks slightly different than I thought. So my name is Lincolnshire. I was graduated from Business and Marketing last year. Sorry. At the moment, I'm working for a government agency as a personal assistant for director who supports Lincolnshire and Northamptonshire areas. I decided to introduce each year to you because I think, personally, I think each year contributes and made me stronger. They kind of link to each other. So I started with that in terms of skills and confidence, and then I grew higher and higher until look at me here. I am a guest speaker. Yes. So first year was really complicated for me. I faced lots of different challenges. So as you know, in 2021 we had lockdown, so we had online sessions. Which I found really frustrating to even access on blackboards, how to find your way, connect with tutors, how to connect with your classmates and all of that. So definitely it was really challenging. As well, that contributed to my motivation. I found myself sometimes I was having low motivation. And on top of this beautiful bunch, I was pregnant. So yay! So it was really difficult. However, because when I started uni, I had a very big goal, and that's how I break through. In my first year, I did achieve quite a lot of things. For example, one of them would be resilience. Another one would be digital capacity. That's because some of the modules required me to do digital contents and create videos, PowerPoints, etc. And of course, I was facing some issues with technology and that, but that's how I gone through and managed. But yeah, this is my first year. Could I go on another slide here? So second year was slightly different. Of course, it was very challenging because I came back to my second year with newborn baby, and I had another one as well to look after who was about 3 years old at that time. And we returned to face-to-face sessions at the university. So again, I have to kind of create those positive relationships with my classmates, with tutors, and build and maintain that relationship. On same notes, in my second year, I have returned to a part-time job, and then I had a chance with one of my modules to challenge myself with UOL challenge, which was a great opportunity where we were tackling Hanscall Antique Centre problem with my group. So in that year, I recognized that I do have resilience, because I was managing lots of workloads, such as part-time job, education, and all of that. Another key strength would be digital creativity, so definitely my digital abilities improved even more. And then, of course, self-belief, because in general, I'm not very confident person, but I think definitely UOL challenge has boosted my confidence. Oh, I don't have my video there. No? I just wanted to share my little video that I have created for our group, which we shared on poster exhibition day, as well as we posted on our Twitter account. It's not there, is it? That's a shame.
I missed out. Is the file's too big, kind of like got cancelled, but we can take it out later.
No, it doesn't matter. I just wanted to show you that it. So what I gained from UOL challenge, perhaps I do repeating myself, I guess, but definitely digital resilience. That was one of the key skills I have. What am I looking for? I have. What am I looking for?
Developed.
Thank you. Of course, my understanding about social media and how this can create far and fast-reaching impact when communicating with the audience, improve my digital marketing communication skills, created videos by adopting new technology, which I wasn't familiar with, gain confidence, enrich problem solving and decision-making skills. And of course, it was very, very valuable for CV and interviews. That's that. By the way, I just wanted to share my second year led me to another great experiences, because as I said, I boosted my confidence and I wanted to explore more. So I did have opportunity to do work experience at Lincolnshire County Council, where I was given different marketing materials and I needed to see whether they can improve their internal and external marketing communications. But again, without UOL challenge, I wouldn't have this confidence and I wouldn't have those theories to bring and feel confident bringing those live really. Then I went to Malaysia for 2.5 weeks and we did have some workshops and we met local successful businesses. And at the end of the project, I did attend a conference where I have to use PowerPoint and share my thoughts of how diverse is careers between the UK and Malaysia. So yeah. Yeah, but my slides are slightly different. Oh, yeah. Never mind. So anyway, in my final year, I had another opportunity to be an ambassador for digital marketing. So I have to attend some guest speaking. I'm sorry. So I have to attend some guest speaking, some workshops with Armin. So that was a really, really good experience. And at the end of the project, we did interview some of the guys when they were presenting their posters. So definitely, as I said before, as you can see, step by step, I was building my confidence and learning and exploring more. So, could I have another slide? That's not what I expected. But because I have updated completely my PowerPoint, so I didn't want that, but never mind. So, as I said before, my expectations when I started uni were really, really high, and I wanted to do well and achieve high grades, which I have done. So in my final year, I developed good dissertation research, which I have enjoyed, as well as participated in a digital marketing role. And I took some other projects, which is Slovenia. So I went to Slovenia for 3 days, I think. And we went to some workshops, and we had to do some presentations, etc. It was really interesting trip. Also, I have managed to achieve first grade overall, and then there you are. So now I'm kind of in a different position where I'm just started to work for Environment Agency and trying to improve environment. So, yeah. I just have a few tips for current students. So definitely, so first of all, don't leave this experience just there. Try to explore more, try to see if perhaps there's something more to do. So you can transfer those skills from Learning Lab to other projects as well. And it's definitely, guys, I remember when I was a student, perhaps you don't feel that when you study, when you're a student, but when you step into your career, you can feel how those type of projects are really, really important and helping you to stand out from the crowd. So my tips are welcome and accept each opportunity, as I mentioned already. Apply good academic standards, practices standards, why did I say standards? Develop social skills to expand your network, and that's really important. Besides, that's how I got work experience at Lincolnshire Council from my network. Don't stop trying, think beyond the box, overcome the fear and rejection, step out of your comfort zone. As I said, in general, I'm not very confident person, but I was always pushing myself to do more. And then learn from your experiences and build your digital capacity and portfolio to stand out from the crowd. But yeah, everything that you do right now, as I said, do take it a little bit further, explore, try new things, and definitely you're gonna have a very successful career in the future. Thank you very much.
Yes, right, okay. So thank you so much for attending today's ceremony. And we've had a great opportunity to have these small windows to see how actually different teams, different students working not only individually, independently, but also collaboratively amongst themselves, amongst their teams, within their module, along with academics, along with the business partners to work out these digital solutions. And I'm very, very pleased to see all your performances. So thank you very much to take today as the opportunity to showcase what you have come up with in terms of the digital solutions. So the next stage is for our audience. So we have the live audience here, but we also have the live audience through 3 social media channels via LinkedIn, Facebook, and X, I think. Oh no, sorry, YouTube. Yes. So without further ado, I'm going to share my screen. This is the time that everyone needs to have your mobile phone out because there will be a QR code that you're going to scan. So luckily we have this big screen. So hopefully everyone, wherever you're sitting, in front of the screen or in front of the computer at home, in your office, online, we can scan this QR code. And this Poll Everywhere, it's called Poll Everywhere. It's an online voting live system that you are able to select your favorite presentations from these 4 student groups. Okay, and you can move up and down by using the arrows. Okay, so everyone must have their favorite team when you listen to and watch their presentation. However, I have to say, at this point, I just want to congratulate every single student who came up today with all your experience throughout these 14 weeks working hard on this project. Every single real business challenges were real challenges for you. And then today we have employers here, sitting here, listening to what you have come up with, and as well as the suggestions you are giving them. So it would be great for our audience to consider which ones you are going to vote for as the best solution, best presentation, or perhaps a really professional persona on the stage. Okay. So we will be having this live voting system open at the back channel. So it's not going to be finishing until I think when we finish the next presentation. Okay? So everyone is able to access, right?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
Not yet.
I'm able to check from my screen.
Of course.
It's responsive.
He's thinking of the small recorder.
It says responsive recorded at the top.
Says response recorder. I take well, I have a follow around.
Yeah. So far we have 28 votes coming in. I'm just going to go back to allow you to
Get a signal.
to scan. Yeah, maybe it comes
The name you say is king.
absolutely. Activate the camera, you should be able to scan that QR code and then click on it. You will then be able to come to this platform, which does not require any username. Okay.
Two solutions.
Yeah.
Everyone's okay?
Yeah.
Right,
It's
that's okay.
not to
So
this kind of
it looks
things,
like
not anymore. It's
most
not
people's votes are in, and we'll be waiting in the platform to see more votes. Now,
But if there is any,
whilst we may have some live audience on the social media channels, we have our Professor Giles Linwood, who is the College Director of Education and Students in our College of Arts, Social Sciences and Humanities. He's going to present to us experiential learning and its central role in university's mission.
Thank you very much. I'll get it.
You've locked them out, John.
Man.
Sorry.
That's very good. Thank you very much. So I'm absolutely delighted to be presenting whilst you're all voting. So no one can listen to me while I'm doing this. So thank you very much, Herbert, for putting me at this slot in this evening's event. First of all, many congratulations to everyone. I think everyone has been thanked and everyone's been welcomed and everyone has been thanked again. So I'm not going to do any of that. What I'd like to do, just for no more than 10 minutes, is talk about how experiential learning, as run by the Experiential Learning Lab here at the university, is absolutely central and critical as part of the university's strategic mission. Now, as I was very wonderfully introduced, I'm the Director of Education and Students for the College of Arts, Social Sciences and Humanities, in which the Lincoln International Business School sits. So I feel I'm quite qualified to be able to speak about this. Like any good academic, I think the first thing we need to do is actually, before we're going to talk about how experiential learning fits within the university's mission, I think it's worthwhile to understand what the mission is, because then we can actually understand how we can map these two things. Now, I'm going to read some of this stuff, and I apologise because I know you can all read, but go with me on this. So the university's new strategic plan, or at least the current strategic plan that was launched about a year and a half ago, says that the university will transform lives and communities. attracting talent from around the globe to create for Lincolnshire and communities across the world a virtuous circle of opportunity, prosperity and economic growth. It also says that the university will drive, enhance and harness global advances in technology and digitalisation, applying them in selected industry settings to improve the lives of individuals and communities. And finally, and it says a lot more in this strategy, but I've just pulled out a few things, to help build an economically successful, socially coherent, highly skilled and culturally vibrant city and region. So you're now already beginning to understand how challenge-based learning and UOL 4.0 challenge starts to fit into this. Now, when you look at our strategy, you start to, there's a lot going on, and the easiest way to get around it and to process it is there are three key themes of we collaborate, we challenge, and we transform. And when you take each of those in turn, I'll just give you a quick slide to give you an idea of what we mean by we collaborate, we challenge, and we transform. So, what do we mean by when we say we collaborate? Well, the university, by transforming lives and communities, that starts with working in partnership. You cannot transform lives and you cannot collaborate unless you actually come together and work together. Lincoln is known for its strong focus on and pioneering approach to collaboration, from working with students to co-create learning environments and student experiences to working cooperatively with wider communities in our research. Collaboration and working together is central to what we do. Partnership, working with other organisations, commerce industry, both nationally and internationally, is key to not only our future, but the region's and everyone's future success in growing the economic, social and cultural life of the city, county and wider region. And I hope you understand what we mean by when we say we collaborate. Our second strategic theme is we challenge, and having the confidence, and I think this is critical to why we're all sitting in this room today, having the confidence to challenge each other and work together differently results in better educational and research outcomes. Challenging and trying new things and being prepared to fail sometimes is critical when it comes to being challenging and thinking and working in new ways. Through our teaching and learning, we need to prepare as a university our students to be challenged. It says this very clearly in our strategic plan, and to provide them with the confidence and skills to challenge others in an ever-changing global society. So again, you're seeing very clearly how the link between what we want to achieve as a university and the journey that we're going on and the Experiential Learning Lab's 4.0 challenge actually starts to link really, really quite nicely. And finally, when it comes to We Challenge, through addressing regional issues that resonate with global challenges, our research needs to push the frontiers of knowledge and practice. So that's what We Challenge is all about. And thirdly, and finally, We Transform. Our purpose at the University of Lincoln is to transform lives. Through teaching and learning, research and knowledge exchange, we will enhance, enrich and better up the lives of our students, staff, city and communities right across the world. And as we go on this journey, we must also transform our own outlooks and practices, expanding our horizons and embracing new digital technologies. So you've now started to understand what the university's mission is, which takes me back to the original question of how does the Experiential Learning Lab and UOL 4.0 Challenge project align with this? Now I hope you're at least one, if not two steps ahead of me, because you're thinking, okay, I can see the link here, but allow me just to walk you through these very, very briefly. So let's visit what we said with We Collaborate. Well, what's fantastic about the UOL 4.0 Challenge is that it works collaboratively with local businesses. They provide digital challenges for our students to work on during this semester. So the challenge, the collaboration aspect of the university strategic plan links perfectly. The project enables us to co-create meaningful educational opportunities for our students and experience with our industry partners. Working in partnership to deliver engaging, inclusive and relevant curricula and student experiences. How does the We Challenge theme work with the UOL 4.0 Challenge? Well, the project exposes students to a wide variety of experiences and opportunities that help to develop students' research analysis, creativity, teamwork, confidence, all the things that you can see in that first paragraph, which are critical to successful and rewarding careers. The project prepares our students with the skills they need to meet the challenges of an increasingly global, diverse and digital world. So again, the second theme of our strategic plan absolutely perfectly matches with what the Experiential Learning Lab has put together over the last semester. And thirdly, we transform. So how does that link? The UOL 4.0 Challenge project, through its experiential learning approach, in other words, learning through doing, or as Ingrid actually said in her talk, experience matters. You said that on slide 5, even if it wasn't the slide you were expecting. Experience matters. Through its experiential learning approach, this project enhances the opportunities, experiences, and outcomes for our students. So the project's educational experience is designed to encourage students to think differently, and it empowers them to challenge, that's meant to say, all aspects of society for the better. Finally, I think it is important to recognise what the Experiential Learning Lab is actually achieving when we look at those projects. It is making very neat and really quite expansive links between academics and industry and students, building into the curriculum real-world experiences and research and solving very real problems. The Educational Learning Lab is absolutely and fundamentally aligned with the university strategy, and I would applaud the staff team for putting this together and delivering it so successfully. So that's all I really wanted to say. Congratulations to everyone again. No one has listened to a word I say because you want to know who's won, but congratulations and thanks very much, everybody.
Is that the Eurovision Song Contest now? I'm waiting for the votes from the Lincoln jury. Oh, state. Are they in the right order? 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah. We're going to write up these later.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
The fourth one is.
Right, I'll read it out. So, without further ado, should we have a drum roll?
Yes.
The fourth team, remember everybody's a winner. The fourth team are Team 2, Isabel, and, because she didn't write it down.
Isabel. Yeah. I think it's just a representative.
Isabel and Kai. Sorry about that. Isabel and Kai.
Come and receive your certificate. Hold that.
Can move it.
Hold the certificate. Please, absolutely. Okay. Good, congratulations, well done.
Third place is Team B3, that's Carolina and Liv. We lost Liv. Oh no. You have to smile for her.
Don't let her have this.
No, no.
Thank you. Now it's tense.
Well,
Second,
there.
yeah, G3.
Right, tech. I'm no good at tech. In second place is Team G3, when they talk about the orchestra, Sophia and Opayane. process of elimination based on the sponsorship of Wetherspoons. It's the university's answer to Ant and Dec, I think. James and Joey.
Yes, try that.
Looks like Herbert's won.
Yes, well done, Herbert. Congratulations.
I think that just remains for Natalie to say a few words on behalf of the school.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And please don't worry, everyone, I've got to get my notebook before I speak. I do recognise that I'm the only thing now standing between you and refreshments and between the rest of your evening. So I will keep these remarks quite quick. I'd really just like to close this by thanking all of you, to the students who participated in these projects. I think everybody has done some really fantastic work, and the engagement with the organisations and the creative and innovative solutions that are presented this evening, and indeed in the poster presentations by all the teams, is something that is really fantastic to see. And of course, thank you to the participating organisations who have given the students these projects and these challenges to work on. As Giles has mentioned, this kind of experiential learning is so important to what we do at the university, but also to the business school in particular. As Joanna mentioned right at the very start, in the business school we don't have physical labs or studios as colleagues across other schools and departments may have, but what this kind of project does is really enable us to put this theory that we teach in our classrooms into practice and to bring it into real life and to show the impact that it can have on organisations. And it really helps students and all of you to develop your skills. So just this evening, I've really seen the evidence of the collaboration, teamwork, creativity, problem solving, and I really have to mention as well presentation skills. It is not an easy thing to stand up in front of a room and address organisations. It takes many academics years of practice to become comfortable to speaking in front of an audience. And this evening we've seen our students who are in their second year of their undergraduate programme stand up and do that. And this takes real confidence that is developed through this through projects of this nature. The other thing that particularly struck me this evening is how all of the projects have really had a theme of projects which have worked towards the common good. So we've heard about net zero, we've heard about school orchestras, we've heard about early years education. And I think there's a very stereotypical view of business schools that, and our students, that is probably stuck still somewhere in the 1980s, that we're all about the profit motive. And I think we've demonstrated this evening that that isn't true. And that actually we teach a range of skills at business schools, and our students develop those skills that, of course, if you're working in private sector organisations, we can't forget about the profit motive, but it's certainly not limited to that. It's not the only skill that our students develop. And I think we've really seen this evening the really transformative power of business school students' ideas and the impact that they can have on organisations of all kinds. So that being said, I think that's really at the heart of what we do at the University of Lincoln. It is very much aligned to our mission that you've heard about this evening. It's very much aligned to why the University of Lincoln was founded in the first place, to contribute to the betterment of the city and to the local region. And I think we can see how these projects really fit into that. So I'd really just like to thank everybody who's been involved with the project, not least colleagues who have really dedicated a lot of time and effort into to coordinating this, to the organisations, to members of our advisory board who joined us this evening in order to demonstrate their support, to our alumni who continue to engage with Lincoln International Business School, which is really fantastic to see. And of course, thank you to you, the students, for your enthusiasm and commitment to projects of this nature. So thank you very much to you all. Thank you. Thank you so much, Natalie. So this marks the end of our evening award ceremony. We have the refreshments outside for everybody to enjoy. But we also wanted to take this opportunity to remind all the students what a wonderful term A you have gone through. And please remember, this is not a full stop. If anything, this is an open-ended journey, which hopefully this challenge-based learning, our Experiential Learning Lab, will take you to the next stage and the next series of actions that you will feel very enthusiastic to embrace on. So thank you so much. We also wanted to say that there will be photo opportunities, so please feel free to come along, and I'll put a video, wonderful video that our previous digital marketing assistant, Armin, who actually left the project team, but he has done a wonderful video. So we will be putting that on the back screen, and please feel free to have group photos with your lecturers, with business partners, with academics, okay? Wonderful. Thank you very much, everybody.